As you know, we begin with letter size. Let's practice before we start. Can you punch across your body like this? Parents, if you see your child punching out to the side, stand behind them and help them until they get the hang of it. This movement encourages connections in the brain, which is important for development and reading.
All right, are y'all ready for letter size? Y'all stand up.
All right, everybody up so we can letter size. We're going to say each letter, then punch out the sounds like a boxer. In between, we'll get in shape by jogging, jumping, and exercising our bodies and brains. Come on.
All right, guys, let's march. Let's see how fast you can run. Now let's see how slow you can run. All right, just run now. All right. Get ready.
H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Let's pretend to jump rope.
See if you can jump on one foot. Now the other foot. All right, let's get ready.
O, P, Q, R, S, T, time for jumping jacks.
Can you spin while you do
B, W, X, Y, Z. Super job! Now wave your arms.
Wave your arms, okay?
Dance around like the winner
Spin
you
around.
are.
Okay, so this week we're going to talk about our very first Mother Goose. We're going to read some of these from there, and we're going to read about Humpty Dumpty, who we're going to talk about him all day today and this week. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Now that we know that Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, now it's time to see what he did after the fall. So we're going to read After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again by Dan Santat. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know, it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day, I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together again. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my most favorite things. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day, I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I had spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time, until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up.
Humpty-Dump, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty-Dump, Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. They tried to push him up, push him up, push him up, pull him up, pull him up, pull him up, patch him up, patch him up, patch him up, roll him up, roll him up, roll him up. Ooh, make it funky now.
Humpty-Dump, Humpty Dumpty Dumpty, Humpty-Dump, Humpty Dumpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. They tried to push him up, push him up, push him up, pull him up, pull him up, pull him up, patch him up, patch him up, patch him up, roll him up, roll him up, roll him up. Ooh, make it funky now.
Humpty-Dump, Humpty Dumpty Dumpty, Humpty-Dump, Humpty Dumpty Dumpty, Humpty-Dump, Humpty Dumpty Dumpty.
So we're going to make Humpty Dumpty. You know how he fell off the wall and all the king's men had to put him back together? Well, now you get to be like one of them and put Humpty back together. So you're going to have a sheet with his face and his clothes on it. You're going to have his body, which is egg, and some Band-Aids, some glue, and some scissors, which you might need help using scissors. So once you cut out, you may want to pause and cut out the egg and the face. It may be helpful. But once you get it all cut out, you're going to have to put Humpty together like they did in the story. So put Humpty together. And then you're going to take the Band-Aids and bandage him up so that he can stay together. So you put Band-Aid right here to connect these two pieces. You're going to need another Band-Aid. Connect these two pieces. another Band-Aid. And you may need help opening these Band-Aids. Put these two pieces together. Put this piece together. Then you're gonna put one last Band-Aid, so you should have 5 Band-Aids to make sure that each piece is stuck together. So now, once you have Humpty's body put back together, now you can make his face and glue everything away, or down. So now you're gonna take your glue, and you can take Humpty's clothes and glue it down at the bottom of your egg like this. You're gonna glue it down here. Put enough glue so it stays. Put it at the bottom, and once that's glued down, you set your glue down and you want to push it down so it sticks. And then you take his bow tie. His bow tie goes like at the top of his shirt. So you're going to glue his bow tie. Glue that down on his shirt. The next thing you can glue down is his face. And he's smiling because you're putting them back together again. And you glue down that. I'm going to push it down. Make sure that his face is sticking. And it's going to look like this. Then you're going to put his hat on the top of his head. Let you put some glue on there. Put his hat on. And he'll look like this. And then you have his arms and his legs. So we're going to glue those on. You put some glue on his arm. Put one arm. And then put the other arm on. So then his arms look like this. And the last thing, you might want to flip him over and glue his legs down. And now you've put Humpty back together again. So the next craft we're making is a Humpty Dumpty position booklet. So we're going to talk about Humpty Dumpty is on the wall. Humpty Dumpty is in front of the wall. Humpty Dumpty is near the wall. Humpty is behind the wall, and Humpty is off the wall. And we talked about these words last week with the gingerbread men. So now we're going to make our own book about it. So you're going to need this piece of paper. Your Humpty is on the wall or off the wall, all of that. And a glue stick and some scissors, which you'll need help with. And your crayons so you can color when we're done. So the first thing is you're going to want to cut all of this out. You may want to pause the video and finish cutting. It may help. And then once you're done cutting, you'll have this and you'll have all 4 of these pieces cut out. You're going to want to put the pieces that have glue and staple in the back, and the top one should be your on the wall. The order is not a big deal. It's just as long as this one's on top, it's gonna be good. And you're gonna take each one and you're gonna put glue on the top little bar right here, each one. So we'll start, put glue. And then you're gonna take your next piece, you're going to glue it just at the top and push it down and make it sure it sticks so it looks like this, and it can flip up. And then you're going to take the next one, make sure it still has glue and staple on the top, because there's going to be more that go on it. So you're going to do that same thing again. You're going to push it down and make sure it sticks. So then you can flip this one. You're going to do one more. This is the last one with the glue and staple still with it. So you're going to want to glue on top of this one. Put it on top. And it still should be able to flip through each page. And then you're going to put your last one on top, which should say on. So on is on top. You're going to glue it down. So now you have a flip book that says Humpty is on the wall and he is sitting on the wall. Humpty is in front of the wall. So he's not sitting on the wall anymore, he's in front of it. And you can see that in the picture. He's near the wall. So he's not on the wall. Again, he's near it. He's just close enough to it. Humpty is behind the wall. So you can't see all of Humpty because he's behind the wall. And then the last one is he's off the wall, like when he fell off the wall and cracked. And that's what this picture shows, is he wasn't on the wall. He didn't sit on the wall anymore. He fell off the wall. Now you can color it and write your name on it. And you're done. So now we're going to do a finger play called Two Little Blackbirds. Are you ready? Two little blackbirds sitting on a hill. One named Jack and one named Jill. Fly away, Jack. Fly away, Jill. Come back, Jack. Come back, Jill. All right, I have had so much fun learning with y'all today, and I am now ready to do Tootie Top, my favorite thing.
A tootie ta, a tootie ta, a tootie ta ta.
A tootie ta, a tootie ta, a tootie ta ta.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
A tootie ta, a tootie ta, a tootie ta ta.
A tootie ta, a tootie ta, a tootie ta ta.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up,
Elbows back.
elbows back.
A tootie ta, a tootie ta, a tootie ta ta.
A tootie ta, a tootie ta, a tootie ta ta.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up,
Elbows back.